Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia and I'm obsessed with stickers and planning, so if you are too, you're in the right place. My channel is full of plan with me's, sticker hauls, and other planning videos. All of my videos have timestamps in the description so you can skip around to different sections and to different shops in my hauls. And if this is your 20th time listening to this intro, you can go ahead and skip this too. All my social media links, including Instagram, are in the description, as well as all the supplies I use and notes about each video. The planner I'm currently using is my standard size vertical planner, which I use for decorative memory planning. I also just want to add a couple quick notes about me since I don't always remember to go into detail in my videos, and for new viewers it can be confusing. So when I mention work, I'm referring mostly to my bookkeeping position at a grocery store, and when I mention Anastasia, or Anna for short, she is my pet ball python. So let's go ahead and get started with this video, and I hope you enjoy. Hi everybody, so excited to be showing you guys this week's releases. So we do have a main collection this week in addition to the foil bundle exclusive. Very exciting, lots of stuff to show you. So the main collection for this week is the Magic collection, which is based on Disney. Only for the reason that I've been noticing a lot of people like going to Disney or booking Disney trips these days, and so it just seemed appropriate to come out with some foil because I haven't seen any in a while, I don't think. And also coincidentally, Andrea from Scribble Prints Co. released an exclusive art Disney kit this week as well, so that timing worked out really well. So I did kind of choose the lavender foil to foil this in and show you guys because I thought it would look really good with the Disney kit that came out this week. So if you are picking that up, you might want to consider getting some of this in lavender or whatever color you choose, like maybe hollow would look good as well, to complement that. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with the underlays as per usual. So here is the large underlay design, which is a mixture of the main elements. Well, not all of them, but just some of the ones I liked best. We do have Mickey heads scattered throughout, and then we have some snacks. So we have the Mickey pretzel, little ice cream. I think that's an ice cream pop right there, and then the candy apple, and then there's some like silhouetted Mickey heads in there as well. So that is the large pattern, and then we do have the medium, which is the same thing but with a more sparse design. If you don't like it to be so busy, you get both options depending on the density that you want. And then for the fun underlays, we have two really fun ones. So this one is like the People Mover underlays, which has the, like, I think that's the older version of the People Mover, the original one from Disneyland, I believe, based on my vague research. But yeah, I thought that would be really cute to have in there, and then kind of like leading up to the different parks. So we have the Disney castle, like the Cinderella castle, and then the little Epcot thing, and then the Animal Kingdom tree, and then there's some Disney fireworks and Mickey heads scattered throughout there. So these are like really kind of like, I'm having a hard time describing it, but it's kind of like a picture, these underlays. They're less underlays and more like a full design. So I feel like it's going to be really hard to cover these up, but I don't know, you could use them technically as overlays if you want to, but I just thought it would be really fun to do something like that for the fourth design. Technically that was the fourth, I designed this one third. This is the Scripps Underlays. I really like doing these now. I'm starting to like get more into it ever since I did the Wedding Vows underlays. Those were pretty popular. So I decided we should have more script underlays. So this is in like a kind of Disney inspired font, and it is just the various parks and the rides in them. So like it starts with Magic Kingdom, and then it goes through some popular Magic Kingdom rides, and then we move into Epcot, and then some Epcot rides. I hope I didn't like spell anything wrong, but I don't usually do that. I don't know, it'd be really funny if I did. And then, so these are actually two different sets of scripts, but then it just repeats. So then we have Hollywood Studios. Is it Hollywood Studios or is it like Universal Studios, or is that like different? Maybe Universal is different. Does Disney own Universal Studios? I don't know. I've like heard both things, and so it's like very confusing to me. But I've heard Hollywood Studios more, so that's what I'm going with. I have been to Disney many times. It's just a very long time ago. I'm not very up to date on the Disney things. But yeah, so we have Hollywood Studios, and then all the like Tower of Terror and all that kind of stuff. And then lastly, we go into Animal Kingdom, and then some Animal Kingdom stuff. Animal Kingdom apparently has like only like 4 rides, which is crazy. Apparently there's not much in Animal Kingdom. I think a lot of people actually do skip it. But yeah, and there's little Mickey heads as like the spacers in there. I did actually make it so that the words are like kind of split, so that you can kind of continue reading it as like a whole thing. So nothing's like cut off, so that you like don't know what the rest of the word would be. Like the splash on Splash Mountain is split, but you can still read it if you kind of go in that direction. But yeah, also just a disclaimer for any of these sheets: any imperfections that you see, like any black spots, etc., are only on these like demo versions. They will not be on your final products. I do spend a lot of time observing each sheet and making sure it is usable and looks good as well. But yeah, these demo sheets are a little bit of a different story. But yeah, so here's the Confetti full box overlays. This is the full design, which is like the most busy and covers up the most amount of clip art, but it's still not too much. So we do have the Cinderella castle. I'm not 100% sure what this is. It was kind of like in a set with the other 3 like park icons. I think it's the like Hollywood Studios water tower, like again the original like kind of water tower that was like, it kind of had Mickey ears on it. I think that's what that is. If any of you like knows for sure what that symbol is, let me know. But I know it's supposed to be some kind of Hollywood Studios thing, and so based on some photo research, I think it's supposed to be the water tower. But it looked really cute, and so I decided to go with that. It was like cuter than, say, trying to make the Tower of Terror like really small, because also it's just like a rectangle. And also that ride gives me like PTSD. I was like terrified of that as a kid, and still pretty scarring. Anyway, so we have that in there, and then the Mickey head, and then the candy apple, and then there's also another little candy apple Mickey head, and then the Mickey pretzel is hanging out on the side there, and then the little Epcot thing is at the top. I'm not entirely sure again what that Epcot thing is either. Can you go inside it? Is it like an attraction? Probably. Anyways, so that's the full version. I swear I've probably been to it, but probably like when I was 4, and I have no recollection of anything from that age. So then we have the medium confetti, which is less like filled, so there aren't all the little confetti sprinkles. I mean, if you know my shop, you know the drill, but for all of my newer viewers, you do get several different options for the confetti overlays based on what full boxes you are using and how much of the clip art you want to cover up in each one, so you can kind of just buy what you need. And I did actually like feel like improved upon these from previous collections, because previously my confetti overlays I feel like have been really small. Like I do have a small and a medium, but I feel like the medium were pretty small, and then the small were even smaller. So I did make them a little bit bigger, and I think it's gonna work out a lot better. So you can still choose between like medium and small, but like the medium is going to be a good size, and the small is not going to be like ridiculously small. It's going to be like a true small option. So we'll see when I do the mock spread, but I think this is an improvement, and kind of let me know if you've been noticing that like they've been a little bit small in the past too. Well, like we're always kind of reformatting and improving stuff around here, but you know, I can always accept feedback if you want to tell me how these overlays are working for what you're using them for. But yeah, so there's the medium 4-corner, and then you do get the 3-corner option as well for the medium and the small. And then you also get the 2-corner, but I'll show you that in a minute. So the 3-corner has like 1 corner free. Let me just fling it across the table. 1 corner free on each corner. So if you have like clip art in that specific corner that you don't want to cover up, you would grab this sheet. And then here's the small version. So this is kind of like only slightly smaller. If you can kind of see the comparison there, it's slightly smaller, so it's not like ridiculously small, but it does definitely cover up way less of the clip art. If you have like a really busy full box that you do want to put an overlay over, but you don't want to cover up too much of it, then you can just grab the smalls. So here's the small 4-corner, and then the small, of course, does come in the 3-corner, and then it also comes in the 2-corner. So both the small and the medium come in all the corner options. And so this one has like your diagonal corners as always, the ones you're used to, and then the two that I include that are unique to my shop are with the top two corners missing and then the bottom two. These are great for like fashion girl boxes where it's usually going to be like either one, like the top or the bottom, that like you either do or don't want to cover up. I feel like that tends to happen. Like if, you know, if the girl's got big hair or something in the top, then you might want one for just the bottom two corners. Or if she's like wearing a big dress at the bottom, then you might want one for the top two corners. You know the drill. So you got options for that. And then of course we do have the tall box options. There is just one tall box sheet, but you get both like standard tall box sizes on it. So you get the Squirrel Prince Co size and I think Apple Blossom Prince size. And then this is the Glam Planner / Caress Press size as well. And then you get your 2 flag overlays on that. I think I may have made the confetti like slightly bigger for these boxes, and then I definitely made them bigger for the big box. So I've kind of like started readjusting it. I think I used to adjust it at the very beginning when I had time, and then I started to have less time and I just kept it the exact same like confetti pattern. But now I'm kind of like adjusting the sizes based on this sheet and like what I think would be better. So obviously the big box, you can like kind of afford to cover up more of the box. So I made the designs a little bit bigger for these, and then you get 5 flag overlays at the bottom. I think they're Glam Planner size overlays. But yeah, and you do get this big box in 2 available sizes, depending on whether you're using a big box from Glam Planner, which is like the main one, or Apple Blossom Prince, which is like my personal favorite, or Paper Candy Art also has big boxes, so you can choose the taller one, which is for like Glam Planner, and I think Apple Blossom Prince would be better, and then the smaller one, which is like a couple millimeters shorter, would be best for Paper Candy Art. So you can get that if you're using one of those kits with a Disney theme. And then next we have the double box overlays. So of course we are starting with our standard ones at the top, which are basically just the full confetti pattern, just like cut in half. And I always try to do it kind of like diagonally asymmetrical, so that there's usually like one kind of bigger design in the middle of the top and bottom, but I like to leave it like just on the bottom on the left and then like on the top on the right, or vice versa, so that it's like not repeating, but there's still like something there. So you can kind of see what I mean. It's a little bit asymmetrical, but you still get like both of those middle designs. I don't think I've explained that in the past, but that is kind of my thought process there and why it's asymmetrical. And then I usually do something like fun for the bottom option, and it is kind of good to have these both on one sheet, because a lot of kits these days do come with at least two double box scenes. Some include 3 or 4, so if you're picking up a foil bundle, just kind of look at your kit and see how many double box scenes there are, and you might want to just add this sheet on if you need like 2 or 3 additional ones. So yeah, so here, I really like this one. So we have a little banner at the top that says, "I love Disney." I kind of had to like figure out a phrase that would fit kind of like perfectly in these banners, like spacing wise. Obviously Disney worked because it was 6, but then like I was like gonna do like Disney Vacay or Disney Vacation, but like those didn't fit, or like even Disney Trip like would have been like off, but I Love Disney kind of just worked. So thankfully we have that, and there's like a little Mickey head as the spacer. And then I had kind of fun putting these together as well. So we have like a little Animal Kingdom set up in the bottom right with the tree, and then I just threw a little giraffe in there because I thought it would be really cute, and then little Mickey heads scattered throughout. And then we have the Epcot giant ball thing. I'm just going to call it that from now on. And then I kind of grabbed the roller coaster from the Carnival set last week, and I threw that in behind there because obviously there's roller coasters at Disney too, and I thought it would be kind of like fun to layer those. And then there's more Mickey heads, so I really like that. I kind of like doing like little scenes for my double box scenes. Like these on the 32mm are like kind of starting to become my favorite things to design when I have inspiration and like good ideas for them, because not always. A lot of the time it's like it's really hard for me to come up with ideas for that, but this collection, it was really fun. And then we have our quote overlays. So we just have like the classic home, and then usually there's like some kind of design in there for the O. Like you'll see this kind of stuff a lot, or it's kind of like the I Love NY design. But yeah, a lot of people did like the castle there, but I was like, I feel like the castle needs to be, I don't know, it doesn't look round enough for like the O, so I just did a little Mickey head instead of the O, and this is all in like the little faux Disney font. You can see it best in the little O right there. But then we have like a kind of more minimal font. I think somebody said in my more minimal like overlay, I think somebody said in a haul that like they liked that there was an option for a quote that like kind of barely covered up anything, because like I do have these, which I feel like are less busy than these, but like it's kind of nice to have an even more subtle one. I think it was like with the Pirates sheet, because I just had like Savvy in the corner and it was really small, and like it would barely cover up any of the full box, and so it's like we should keep doing that. So like I do watch y'all's hauls, like I do take notes on everything, so feel free to tell me your opinions in those and I will take note. But yeah, let me know if you like the arrangement of these and if you think there's enough options for like everything that you need in a quote overlay. Let me know if you want more of the like floating quotes that are like kiss cut. Let me know what you want and I will do it. But with Disney quotes, there wasn't a lot to go on that wasn't like relevant to a specific Disney movie. And the reason I'm not doing that in this, there's like barely any, like probably 0 Disney movie references in here, and the reason for that is twofold. One, I'm probably going to be doing some specific Disney movie sets in the future, and I want to leave plenty of material for those. And B, for the ones that I don't do whole collections on, I'm probably going to do like a generic, Disney overlay line or underlays, or, I'm going to have a whole collection of like just very specific elements, and I'm going to do a bunch of them. Like some other shops do like a whole bunch of stuff that like isn't necessarily part of one collection, but I feel like I kind of want to do that in like my style and kind of like be a little creative with it and kind of make it a little more fun and put some designs in there as well. So I kind of intend to do that in the future, so stay tuned for that, and let me know what kind of Disney movie like quotes and underlays and stuff that you want to see first, and we'll see what I can put into the schedule. But that is kind of why this is just like a Disney trip collection, and this might not even be the only one, depending on if I go to Disney and like get inspired by more stuff that I want to do. So we will see. We'll see. But this is like the Magic Collection version 1. So yeah, so that's why the believe long tangent aside, that's why the Believe in Magic quote is like really small on the bottom left, so that you can have a little quote without covering up too much of the full box. And then you get your like really busy options. These are great for like just plain patterned full boxes that like have basically nothing in them. Here's your little quote that has everything in it. So we do have the full confetti pattern, and then you have the quote inside it, and then I like to put some design elements a little bit bigger in there as well. So this one is a Walt Disney quote: "If you can dream it, you can do it." And then we have a little Disney firework, and then I had to include the like very common quote that said, "Here for the snacks," because I am a snacks girl and I dream of these Disney snacks. I think I was probably too young to remember if I had any Disney snacks when I went to Disney. Like, I don't recall eating any of these things, but I just know that if I went back, that would be my number one priority. Like, my boyfriend and kid can like go on all the Disney rides, and I will be sitting there eating my Mickey pretzel and my Disney churro in my hands, trying that Dole Whip. Is that still a thing? I don't even know, but like that's gonna be me over there. I will be happy to like watch the bags and stuff. That's my Disney priority these days. Anyway, that aside, that is the quotes sheet. And then we have the full box overlays. So the only reason I kind of included this little Mickey headband is because I spent so dang long like trying to turn it into like a black and white design kind of. I basically had to like redraw pretty much most of it, and it still like doesn't even look that great that small. But I just like worked so hard on it, I kind of just had to include it. So it is a few places in this collection, but yeah, kind of didn't turn out quite how I wanted. But anyway, that is in the like standard border. I was kind of like disliking the look of my borders before in the bottom right, because if you'll notice, I was using like really large designs for like this part of the border, like the actual design element, and I was like shortening the actual border itself. I feel like I wish I had a reference nearby, but like this whole rectangle would be a lot shorter, and so there would be a ton of space up here, and then the design would be like really big. So like the design looked better that way, but like the border just looked weird, and like I feel like that's fine. I haven't had anybody say anything. I feel like y'all kind of like either don't notice or don't mind that kind of stuff, but like it was bothering me. So I'm going to try to do that less. There's certain situations where I feel like I'm going to have to do it, but generally I'm going to try to keep it looking like a more normal border, and we're just going to have it be like this, to where like the design is like as big as I can make it, but like still kind of fitting in that space, and to where there's like a millimeter of space between the top of the design and the top of the cut line. So we're gonna try that and see if that see if I personally feel a little bit more satisfied with that. So that's why that is different from how it usually looks. And then I really like this full box overlay here, because the castle is finally as big as it should be, to where you can see all of the detail in the outline of the castle. Let me get our Mickey fireworks behind it. Love that box. And then of course we get our fun border, which is just, you know, just several design elements scattered throughout with little Mickey heads in there as well. So there's the full box overlays, and then we have the headers. So we have, again, the Mickey ears in the confetti header, and then just some various other elements and little Mickey heads as confetti. It's kind of fun. I like using like tiny, like actual design elements as confetti as well. Like last week with the carnival collection, I did the little popcorn pieces as like confetti elements. This time I did the little Mickey heads. I really love when that is an option. So yeah, just a basic overview of this sheet in case you are new. You do have 26 headers total, a little bit more than the standard 21 in case you want to use them in the sidebar, and basically that's just as many as I could fit on the sheet. But yeah, and then you get 9 each of the top 2 designs and then 8 of the bottom design. So I always do the confetti in the top left, and then there's like 2 solid designs that are the other 2. So this one is just your standard Mickey head outline alternation, and then down here I did, you know, the solid pattern, which is basically just the snacks. Thought it would be really fun to have the snacks as headers. So there you go. And then the deco sheet, so I usually do some big deco at the bottom, medium, and then tiny cluster. So that's the kind of pattern there. So here you get all of the larger elements living their best lives in their larger form. So you get to see all the little leaf details on the tree, the castle, Mickey pretzel, the apparently water tower, possibly. But I had to include the Mickey ears on there because that's like how it is truly supposed to look. Doesn't look so good shrunk down, but now you can like admire it fully. And then the Epcot giant ball thing. And then you have our Mickey head, and then our snacks, and then the tree and the fireworks that you can just kind of scatter about. And then just the tiny elements, and then the tiny elements with little clusters, which are kind of fun, little confetti clusters attached to them. So that's the deco. And then we have our dangles. So we have the really long dangles at the top that you can trim to whatever size you need. We have 3 that are already trimmed, 2 rows of like the medium ones, and then just some like really creative fun ones on the medium rows as well. And then the tiny ones, which I decided to like keep simple. Usually I'll do like more designs as like the tiny version, but I decided just to stick with the Mickey ones because when you're going that tiny, like it's not going to show up too well. So, but the Mickey heads are like really nice and dainty, and they're like really easy to sprinkle around without having to worry about like what it's going to match or anything. Like it's the most basic like design element of the theme. So we just got a lot of little Mickey heads in there. So that was a little switch up for that. I kind of like did a lot of switching up for this collection. And then we have these swoops. Oh, and I really went crazy scattering the little mini swoops everywhere. Like, I did a lot of them before, but I did even more this time. Anyway, for the bigger swoops up here, up top, we have the ice cream, or is that the Dole Whip maybe, pretzel, and then it repeats, and then it mirrors. Actually, all of it mirrors for the most part. And then the candy apple, and then the ice cream on a stick. What is that? Is there like an official name for that? I don't even know what words are. And then we have little Mickey heads, little ice cream on a stick, and then another version of the little Mickey heads, and then the candy apple, and then here it is mirrored, and then I just dragged some designs into the middle as well, and then we have the really tiny swoop with just a Mickey head. So that's the swoops, and then the dividers. So as usual, we have 16 simple line dividers on each sheet. I like to use them with the fancy labels, putting them like where the glitter stroke would be, just to like add a little bling bling to those labels, but you can use them anywhere or as normal dividers. And then we have the simple line dividers with one design element. So we have the pretzel and Mickey hat and then ice cream for those. You get some on like both sides and then mirrored. And then the more creative dividers at the top. So we have the Mickey heads and ice cream alternating, the little ice cream pop, and then the little Mickey heads with the confetti dots as well. So those are like the more dainty dividers. This sheet is available on clear glossy, which is this, or premium matte if you like to use them over really busy underlays. So like if you use the large underlay pattern, you're not going to be able to see these as is, so get them on the premium matte, and then they will have that white border and these will show up over that. Or you can just get this and use them over more sparse underlays or just over boxes, like half boxes. I like to use dividers a lot in half and third boxes. And then lastly, for the quarter sheets, we have the Scripps sampler. So I am eventually, hopefully soon, going to be doing Scripps samplers for all of the rides and restaurants at Disney, as a request from Nessa, because she just went to Disney. But it's going to take me a while to do those because Scripps kind of takes forever. I am going to turn this block letter font like into or block letters like script into a font, because right now I'm just kind of doing it manually a little bit. So I am going to try to turn that into like a font so I can just type it out and make it a lot faster. But the actual cursive, I do that by hand, and I draw a new word each time for each script. So that is going to take a while for like the hybrid scripts like that. But those will be coming out at some point. But this is just like a very basic kind of Disney bucket list / mini countdown down here. So you do have the, actually, this is foiled in lavender, but it's really hard to see this version. So let me just grab the black version, because you can get this foiled or unfoiled, of course. So you do have the 1 month until Disney, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then 1 week. And then, let's just go bottom to top, because for some reason that just seems to be how I do it. So here we have like some of the main parks right here. We just have Disney World and Disneyland in general. So after the 1 week until Disney, if you're doing this like in the sidebar, then you could still have a half box in the sidebar for the week you go to Disney, and just pick whether you're going to Disney World or Disneyland, and then just have that as your like little countdown, like final, you know, this is the week kind of script. And then we also have Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, and then Epcot, because those are the only 3 that would like work with the block letters. So these are both third box and half box size, depending on which one you want to use them in. And then Epcot, of course, could also be for, I think, quarter boxes as well. But yeah, for Hollywood Studios and California Adventure, those two, like California and Hollywood, are really long words, so those would not work in the block font, so I did have to write them out in my cursive. So yeah, and then California Adventure is like kind of connected to Disneyland, I think, so that's what that is. So you do have all the parks there, and then like duplicates, of course. And then here are some like other things. So the like middle section is more like things to do when you're already at Disney, and then the top is like before Disney. So again, we're going in reverse order, it seems. So we do have like a Disney Fireworks, Disney Parade, and then Disney Springs, which is like the shopping center. And then buy souvenirs, which you would do like in the parks, and then Disney Snacks, which is also like what you do in the parks. And then those kind of repeat. And then we also have pack for Disney, and then you get a repeat of that. And then book Disney, book a Genie Plus, which is, I think, used to be Fast Passes. Nessa corrected me because I actually had Fast Passes in the original, so I redid it for Genie Plus. And then book dining, and then book Disney, obviously. And then you have another book dining and book Genie Plus right there. Yeah, so you do get 2 of both. You get 2 pack Disneys, you get 2 book Genie Plus, 2 book. Did I say book Disneys or packed for Disney? I don't know, whatever. There's doubles of each. So there you go. I did kind of cram a lot on here, as always. I like to make sure you guys are getting your money's worth with these sheets. So yeah, that is your little like Disney script sampler kind of situation. And then Lastly, let's go over the bottom washi. I kind of went crazy. This collection was kind of designed to make it really hard for you guys to choose between things. So thankfully there are a ton of Disney kits out there, so you don't have to choose. You can get some sheets for one kit and then other sheets for another kit. So for 15mm, our most plain option is the little Disney heads, of course. If you want something nice and simple, why did I say Disney heads? I meant Mickey heads. You know what I mean. You can see it. Little Mickey heads. And then the one that I sneaked that I think actually is my most favorite, which is the first one I designed for this collection. This was the newsletter sneak peek. But is the Cinderella castle and the fireworks. I just love that. Super fun. And then I did both these snacks in the parks. So here's the snacks, 15mm. And then you get little deco pieces over here as usual. And then the parks 15mm. And then you can get the confetti to go along with any of those. So, and then the flags are on the sheet as well. So you have just the Mickey heads and then the Mickey pretzel because it's also shaped like a Mickey head. So keeping it very on theme. And then if you are getting a glam planner kit, you got that triplicated bottom washi. So here's your 10mm and 7mm. 7mm is the same as the header pattern, just a little bit bigger. And then the 10mm, I did the little banner with just the simple Mickey head in there for sizing related reasons. And then you do get 2 glam planner size flag overlays as well. And then of course we have our 32mm as well. This one was another really fun one to design. So we do have the people mover back again, leading to the Disney castle. So there's one version or one option for your left hand side, and then there's 2 options for the right hand side depending on if you want the weekend banner in there or not. So you can choose basically between either the weekend banner or the Cinderella castle. So yeah, we have the little people mover and then the Disney banners and then lots of fireworks going on in there as well. So super fun to like set this up as a little scene. And also for the deco you get more little fireworks and then just a little people mover car, which I thought would be really fun to just stick any old place as deco. So there's your 32mm. And then let's just go over the bundle because this is available as always in either an ultimate bundle with the underlays or in the mini bundle without the underlays, depending on whether you use them or not, because apparently there are some people out there in the far corners of the universe that do not use underlays still, and it is like crazy to me, but y'all do buy these mini bundles, so that is an option. So yeah, for the first page here we have, ignore these spots, I was trying to lift it up to see if I think just see if it cut all the way, but anyway, this will be my sampler sheet. So yeah, we do have the 2 full size overlays on there, and then the 2 medium 4 corner, medium 2 corner, and then the standard double box scene overlays. And then the second and third pages are both the underlays. You can choose whatever underlay pattern you want from the 4 provided. Then we have our headers and deco on the third page. You get the full size of each sheet. And then for the 4th page, you get just whatever 15mm I choose to put on there, but you can always just pick up one of these to use in place of that. And then the confetti, of course, at the bottom, and then the flags. And then up top, you always get the same. This is always the same. You get your weekend banner, date dots, tiny little deco bits. So there's like little confetti clusters, bows, and then other tiny deco. And all of these have their own full-size sheets. There are a million different tiny bows to choose from, and a whole bunch of like tiny deco in varying sizes. This is just like a little taste. Same for dividers. You get a little sampling of them on here, but I do have like my plain like line and dot dividers available on their own full sheet as well. But yeah, that's page 4. And then this is the optional add-on available for both the ultimate or the mini. You do get 2 additional underlays on here. It's just whatever pattern I choose. So I did the really fun kind of scene one for that one with the people mover. Then you get your 2 medium 3 corner overlays here, and then 2 additional full box overlays from that sheet, just whatever's are my favorite, and then 2 quote overlays as well. So that was the optional add-on. And that is everything for the Magic collection this week. Now we do have a foil bundle exclusive this week. These don't come out every week, but they do come out whenever I have time technically I didn't really have time this week, but I really wanted to get this one out because this is the music themed foil bundle exclusive. I really wanted to get this out because I wanted to have something that you guys can use with the concert art from Kitten is Jess, because a lot of you have like purchased that, and I think a couple of you have used it already, and others of you are still waiting and hoarding it or have bought duplicates. So I wanted to give you guys an option for that. And so we have just a music themed bundle here. This can of course go with any music themed kit or whatever. So it is really dainty. It's daintier than usual. The design elements are a lot tinier than usual, basically just because I wanted to fit in as many musical notes and rests as possible, because I am like a music fan, not a concert fan. I don't really like concerts. I know it's controversial, but I do love music and I do play the piano. So like this is all like sheet music elements that I'm just disseminating into design elements, and it was just really fun for me to like have a lot of fun with it and like kind of use my musical know-how in like a way that incorporates into, you know, my job. So so I had a lot of fun with it. Anyways, so this is just a foil bundle exclusive, does not come in a full collection, at least not yet. If it gets requested, that might happen, but right now it's just a bundle. So yeah, we do have the full confetti overlay, so I'm just going to go over it real quick. We have various notes and confetti bits scattered about. I guess I won't go over the notes now because I'll go over them when they're a little bit bigger in later pages of the kit. But yeah, so we have 2 of the full-size confetti, 2 of the medium 4-corner, again 2 of the medium 2-corner, and then the double box scene overlays. Very dainty. They're not going to be too obtrusive, whatever full boxes you want to use them over. But again, if you look really close, it's really fun to pick out the individual notes. Then for the underlays, we do have a large confetti pattern with all of the elements in there. And then for page 3, now I guess we can kind of, no, I'll wait till page 4. Anyway, for page 3 we have the headers. We have our confetti headers, and then I did one header of just the musical notes, and then the other header of just the rests. Thought it'd be really fun to separate them out like that. And then we have the deco on this page. So we have larger deco at the bottom. I did try to incorporate more concert related stuff. If you do want to pull this in with like a concert kit, then there are some specific deco elements you can pull into that as well. So we do have a microphone, concert tickets, guitar, and then just the microphone mirrored. Smaller concert ticket, smaller microphone, the little hand symbol that means something, I don't know. It's like a very common thing, I think, for concerts. I think it was in the art too, maybe, I don't know. Y'all know. And then the little guitar and mic, and then guitar again, and then even smaller, and then tons of like tiny deco of each note and symbol, and then cluster versions as well with the little confetti dots. That's going to be really fun to pull in, I feel like. And then page 4, we just basically have everything as the 15mm, and then the confetti. There's just a few bits in there for the confetti. So what this is, oh my goodness, now I don't remember anything. It's just like an quarter note, eighth note. I used to like actually know these things, and now I feel like I'm failing. I think that's a 16th note. I think so. And then we have a whole note, and then that is, did I not even include a normal half note? I didn't include a normal half note. That's a dotted half note, which is like basically like 1.5 times what a half note is. Music is fun. Music theory is fun. I used to teach music theory, but that was a long time ago. Anyways, I also really like the rests, so I wanted to include those. I really like the 8th rest. That's a half rest. And then I didn't include the 16th rest in the wedding collection, where I included some music notes, and I remember being mad about that, so I included the 8th rest in there. There's not a quarter rest. Quarter rest, half rest, 8th rest. Yes, correct. And then there's some more musical symbols in there as well. If you like know music, please like, I know I'm probably getting stuff wrong. It's been a long time since I've had to like think about this. I only play piano like once a year. Anyway, we have our bass clef, and then our treble clef, and then we have the sharp symbol and the flat symbol. So like A sharp, C sharp, whatever the key signature is. you get those in there as well. I kind of wanted to include everything, because normally you would just get the musical notes, but if you're like a music buff, I feel like it would be just really fun to have all the other symbols in there as well. I didn't include, like, you know, the forte or the mezzo piano or the crescendo, decrescendo. None of that is in there, but it'll be really fun. Anyway, and then our optional add-on. So we do have our sheet music for the 2 additional underlays, which is really fun and really dainty. I feel like that's not going to foil super well in all foils, but the silver does really well with dainty designs, so it looks good in silver. So there's that, and then your 3-corner. And then for the border overlay, I just included our little, what did I say that was? 16th note? I don't know. And then we have our little concert scene right here, which, like, is kind of creepy if you think about it. Just a bunch of hands in the air, like disembodied hands. So I liked this particular design because it did have little people sticking out so you can, like, see them, but yeah, it's a little concert scene. If you want to pull in more specific concert elements, you also have the quote box that says, "Take me to a concert." And then for our little song lyric quote, I know there's a lot of song lyric overlays out there, like a lot of emo song lyrics that y'all are into. That is not super duper my thing. It was, like, really hard for me to choose. And, like, I tried to Google it, and this one kept coming up. This is a John Lennon quote. "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." Oh, I forget what song that's from. I'm sure it's a song that I know by the Beatles. But yeah, the reason it's not like a super, you know, rock band concert type thing that, like, the concert art is kind of representing, I feel like. So it might be kind of out of place, but I don't know. It's a classic John Lennon quote, and also I just thought it was really funny because one of my favorite movies is Dinner for Schmucks, which is a Steve Carell movie. Super funny. It's, like, the best movie ever. I really like it. There's a lot of famous people in it, actually. It's Paul Rudd in there too. But yeah, so the main character is a guy who's, like, you know, kind of you know, he's a schmuck. He's not, like, the smartest, but he, like, quotes he, like, tries to quote this quote, but he doesn't include, like, all of it. So all he says is, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not." And then Paul Rudd tries to correct him, and he's like, "The only one." And then, like, Steve Carell's like, "What?" Because he doesn't know that that's, like, the whole quote. And so I just thought it would be really funny to me personally that that's the song lyric that I chose. So, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not." Just know that part. I don't know. It's a funny little reference for me. That's why I love getting to design stuff, because I get to throw in stuff that I personally think is hilarious. So, yeah, that is it for the little music foil bundle exclusive, and that is it for this week's releases. Next week we have, what do we have? The birthday collection, so I feel like that's going to be pretty simple. There's a lot of elements I can pull in from previous kits. I feel like, well, maybe not a lot. I have, like, a balloon from the Carnival collection that I can pull in. What else? I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun birthday stuff for that one. And then week after next, a lot of y'all have been, like, waiting for this ice cream collection, so I am going to give you a date on that. It is July 1st. The week after next will be the ice cream collection release. So for that SBC mystery kit, you might want to hold off on that until the ice cream collection comes out, and hopefully by that point I will have more foil available too, more fun colors for y'all. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get that poll up next week so that y'all can, like, properly vote, like Simply Gilded style, on all of the new foil options to bring to the shop, because we're going to try to get that finalized so that I don't have to keep adding them into, like, every single listing going back, because it takes a while. But yeah, so just stay tuned for all of that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to, like, comment, subscribe, and share, that would be amazing, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao. Also, real quick, I almost forgot to show you guys, but I did end up putting everything down in this mock spread, so you can kind of get an idea of how the underlays look, along with the full box confetti overlays next to them. There's some deco bits as well scattered throughout, some scripts, and there's the bottom washi. So it's funny because this is the first time that I've actually been able to print and cut a 32mm washi strip perfectly, and then of course this kit does have 30mm, which was my old size of bottom washi, because this is simply a mess kit. So oopsie on that. Just be aware that if you're using a different shop's 30, I guess, intact washi strip. It might be a different size, but mine are 32 millimeters, so just be aware that it might hang off the edge a little bit for other kits, but this should match SPC size. But anyway, it still looks cute, but just be aware. And there are some swoops in here as well, so you can kind of see those. There's a little Magic Kingdom script, some other scripts up there, and then the flag overlays as well. And yeah, I think it turned out really good. So this will be available on Friday, which could be today, could be yesterday. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up. But yep, it will be available for as long as I can keep it in the shop. Happy shopping!